and before him, Emery could really improve us. Your thoughts?
Well, I've said it before. I think it's natural that people want to believe that there's a rosy future.
Yes.
But you're quite right that if you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes a truth to most people.
Yes.
And we as a fan base believed the lie. I mean, I didn't, never for a moment. But the majority did. And like you say, it was a relentless campaign.
Relentless, yes.
I tweeted today that we were 18th, over a 10-year period, we were 18th on transfer spend, and we were 4th, 5th on wages.
Yes.
Now, they're both key components of success.
Yes.
So if you say 18th and 5th, average it out, we should have been finishing 11th or 12th by rights.
Yes.
By the correlation between spending and success, that's 85%, and it's been proven. And we never dropped below 4th, and 50% of the time we finished higher than 4th.
Yes, correct.
It was a tremendous achievement, and yet we were complaining at the time. Blogs were saying it wasn't good enough, and eventually they said it often enough. The media said it.
The pundit said it.
Yeah, the pundit said it, and the fan base started to believe it. And just stupid things like saying that if he'd just gone out and bought 2 more world-class players, we could have won the league.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. But he couldn't go out and buy 2 world-class players because they weren't available and he didn't have the money.
Exactly.
And so you're complaining about him overachieving and asking for stuff that wasn't possible so that he can further overachieve. But now we've got that we're 3rd on spending on transfers and 5th on wages, so par is 4th for us at the moment.
We're third. We're 3rd on spending, George.
Yeah.
You did the stats. You did the stats.
Yeah. Since Arsene left, I think we're 3rd.
Yes, 300 million pounds over the last 3 years since he left. So we can't complain that we haven't spent. Keep going, George.
So 4th is about par, and we're 9th, 10th, 11th. So
we're going to finish 9th, George.
and people are rejoicing that they see light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I can't even see the tunnel, but there you go. It is what it is.
George?
Said it before, until the fan base accept that we shouldn't be hoping to challenge for the title and the Champions League, we should be hoping to get 5th, as we should get, 4th or 5th.
Well, George, you and I have been at blogs which absolutely turn on. You and I used to be on a blog that turned on Arsene Wenger simply because we were 4th and 3rd, and they thought that we should be challenging for the title. And then, of course, when the Cesc and Nasri thing, they thought that was a failure. When those guys decided that they had enough, they didn't think that they could win the title at the club. So these guys turned on Wenger. And so I've seen that internalization process. But what amazes me, and I want to ask you this question, is that Arteta is committed to doing the same things that he's done for the past year. And if I was a player and if I was an average fan, I would be scared. I would be dead scared. I'd be frightened out of my wits when to hear him say the squad needs changing. This is the man who got rid of Ozil, who got rid of Willock, Amen, Guendouzi, Kolasinac. There were already a lot of changes in December. I'm quoting him now. Something that has not been done in years, but which tells us where we were. Where we were? We used to be 4th. You take us to 9th and you want more changes. Are you happy or scared, George?
Well, I said the other day that all his players that he's brought in, it's mostly his team now. We've been through this. He's either brought these players in or he's convinced them to stay. There's very few players that are from Arsene Wenger's time that he didn't want. So he's now taken us to this position, having had the backing, having had his own players, and we want to give him more time and more of his own players and play the same way. He's insisting that playing this way is the right way. He's not even saying I got the tactics wrong. He's saying he's still insisting it'll work, and it'll work if we refresh the squad. And well, it won't. It simply won't work because the tactics aren't good enough, and the players won't be good enough because he's proven that. Look who he's brought in. The big success stories of his transfer outings have been Gabriel and Partey, and both have been distinctly fucking average. Distinctly, and Partey's been a letdown. No matter how you look at it, he's been a disappointment. And Gabriel was supposed to be this monster
defender that we needed.
Defender, right. And he can't get a start in a big game that matters.
Yes.
We're playing Pablo Mari instead. So you want to trust him to go out again. And it might not just be him. Of course, it's not just him. We know that there's problems above him.
Right.
But the idea that he'll get it right and he will improve us is looking less and less likely all the time. But we've said this before. I don't think he'll be sacked.
No, I don't think. I think he's as safe as houses. Yes.
At the moment. Yeah, because they'll be saving him for the sacrificial lamb further down the line. They'll delay doing it as long as they can because they're going to have to sacrifice somebody, and they won't want. And he's sort of the only bus that's going to arrive at the stop that we can sacrifice.
Well,
so
eventually the managers who take the bullet, because Vinay is not going to take the bullet. Edu is not going to take the bullet. Stan and Josh are not going anywhere, despite all this song and dance about Ek. I repeat, the Conkies are not going to sell at a loss. It's not going to happen. Don't listen to nonsense.
And he's not going to buy it anyway. He's not going to buy it anyway.
Because he would have to spend another 500 million, and I don't know where he think he's going to get that from.
Well, honestly, Daniel Ek, he's one of these blokes that come round to buy your car and kicks the tyres.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I like the car.
Yeah, I like the car. He kicks the tyres and makes you a derisory offer.
Exactly. And then you say...
You can get more if you scrapped it.
Right.
So, he's not buying it. He's just not. And people think that, as you say, Kroenke won't sell for a start. Certainly won't sell at 500 million undervalue.
Yes.
And he won't buy it. He can't afford to buy it, in my opinion. He certainly can't afford to buy it and invest the way that people are hoping. It would be more than his total worth, more than his total net value, and that's dropping like a stone, by the way. So yeah,
but we
George, are where we are. But back to Arteta.
Yes, I want to talk about him for a minute. Yeah,
he's fairly strong because he follows instructions and tells you that the Kroenkes are great guys.
Right. I'm talking to Josh.
Time after time, he does his PR spiel where he takes responsibility for everything going wrong, and the way he does it is by pointing the finger and telling you how shit everybody else has been before him and on the players. It's the most duplicitous thing I've ever seen. It's my fault that they're shit.
Yes.
It's fucking horrible what he does. But he comes on regularly saying how great his communication is with the Kroenkes, and he believes that they'll back us, and he believes that they have the best interests of the club at heart. He's as much of a puppet as a manager as I've ever seen. And they'll want to keep that because they know the fans are not happy with them at the moment. And if the manager's backing them, they'll quite happily back him. Because eventually, they can cut him loose and say, oh, well, we've seen the problem. It was the manager, and we're going to try and fix it. And that's another get-out-of-jail card for them. So that's why he's safe. Not because of the job he's doing. It's indefensible how bad we've been.
Exactly,
Absolutely
George. You cannot defend this. You're taking us from...
And if you've noticed, people have stopped trying to defend his results and the way we play. Instead of trying to defend Arteta, they attack his critics.
Exactly. Me and you are taking it in the neck and others. Because we...
Yeah.
And George... I would say it's not that you and I are, two old farts and we're miserable gits. We are. But it's because we want to see good football and we're not seeing good football from Arsenal. You gave Arteta a free hand. You said he was the best thing for the club. And then you discovered that the football was horrible. I discovered the football was horrible, and I wrote about it and said, the minute, why are you dropping Ozil? You were having, great performances, and now, towards the tail end of the season, you fell off. That's, I am not going to be supporting you with that. The same thing with you. You were like, what are you doing? But people get hitched to a religion. Oh, he's going to do better. I mean, I heard Lee Dixon on my feed yesterday. Can you believe it? Oh, he needs more time. He needs his players. I was listening to you. And I was like, what are you talking about? That is why you are a pundit and nowhere near Arsenal. Because this player is going to come good despite. And he was talking.
We see it all the time.
Yes.
I mean, you saw the outrage when Frank Lampard was sacked.
Right.
He wasn't given enough time. He didn't get enough of his players in.
Yeah.
Everybody backed Frank. And all of a sudden, we see what Thomas Tuchel's done with exactly the same squad. Exactly.
No change. No transfer window.
At all. Nothing.
Nothing.
And he's transformed them. And all of a sudden, maybe it was the right thing to sack Frank.
And by the way, George,
the majority of pundits,
yes.
The majority of pundits and media were against that sacking. They thought it was outrageous that Frank should have been sacked.
And they're confirmed in the top 4, and they went and beat City yesterday. Come on. And then I'm engaged with some lad on Twitter who is angry with me because I said the comparison is required. There must be a benchmark. I'm in business. You benchmark. I give two of you. One I give a club 18 months ago, and another got the club in December. And look what he has done. He has improved the players who were underperforming. They are in two.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's a legitimate comparison. And you'll see the argument that, but look at how much money they've spent. Actually, they've spent less than us over the last 3 years.
Yeah, you go.
And he's got better players than Arteta has to work with. But the same people will tell you Aubameyang is better than Werner. KT's better than Chilwell.
Yes.
Thomas Partey is better than Kovacic. Saka is better than Pulisic.
And Leno is better than Mendy.
Lender's better than Mendy.
Yes.
Gabriel's better than any centre-back they have. So that's like 6 of them that we think are better. But just as they've told you, it's not fair to compare them because he has a better players. They'll also tell you that actually 6 of the starting 11 are better than they've got.
Yes.
So which is it? Make your fucking minds up, boys. The comparison is legitimate.
And the gap is widening.
Doing what he should do.
And Go ahead, George.
Improve the players, and Arteta is doing what he shouldn't do. He's making it worse. It's as simple as that.
And George, I was saying, and I was interrupting you, but between December and now, the gap between us and Chelsea has widened. We beat them 3-1 in December, correct, George? And today they are. It's like a horse race.